Ladies and gentlemen, you probably have heard about LangChain by now. If you haven't, then this video is definitely something for you, because LangChain is an open source framework where you can connect to all of these AI agents that are out there. So that means that LangChain itself, then you can connect to OpenAI through a standardized API. So that means that you just type a little bit different Python code depending on which agent that you want to connect and which AI platform that you want to connect to. So then you have OpenAI, then we have Claude, and so that is the LangChain part. And I will show a cool code example in just a minute. There's another thing with LangChain per default. You can connect tools to this LangChain so it can actually do stuff. It means per default it cannot go out and search to the web. You have to add a tool. It's very, very easy, and I'll show how to do that as well. What this gives us is that it gives us a way to actually connect to all of these AI systems without using the REST API, which changes all the time. Then you have someone actually to maintain a cool library that you can just use out of the box, and it is just so easy to use and so convenient. So when you first started using LangChain, then you would not consider coding against the API again, I think. So then we have LangGraph. What is LangGraph? LangGraph, that is if you want to chain agent flows. So if you want to create a whole agent flow, so it's for agent flow, and if you want to chain agent actions and tasks, so that means if you want to do multiple things, agent task chaining. A good example is if you want to have one agent to actually check and follow up on another agent's work and check if the acceptance criteria are actually okay, then you can use LangGraph. And if the acceptance criteria are not good, not okay, according to the second agent, then you can actually go back to the first agent and then create these recursive flows. So they will actually continue work until the second agent is actually happy. It is really, really powerful, and it also it removes the situation where you ask an agent to do something and then it actually stops and thinks it's done, and then you see what is actually made, and then half of the acceptance criteria were not followed 100%. Then you can do something with LangGraph if you want to solve this issue with having multiple agents chained. It could also just be that you have one agent that does something and then it returns something, and then you can use that result to actually do something afterwards. Then we have LangSmith right here, and that is for tracing and logging, and to actually see what's going on. That's also to create pipelines, so you can also use it for pipelining. So you can set up your pipelines with LangSmith right here. I'll create more videos with all of this because all of these three areas are actually quite large. The main area is LangChain. So if you don't know where to start, then definitely start with LangChain, so you can just run some code on your own computer and then see that it actually works. So pipeline, also write pipelines right here. So far, so good. If we look at the main web page right here. So if you just look up LangChain, the documentation is awesome. It's actually it's just really a pleasure to use and to follow right here. And that's also the description between those three terms. You can see that up here. Here they have some default code right here, and I have already set up this default code, the boilerplate hello world code that you get right here. And then I've also prepared an example where we actually call and search for something in the web, where we are using the tools. In the default example, in the hello world up and started example, we are actually using a tool. First of all, I'm using UV. So that means that if I go look in my pyproject.toml file, and you can see right here I have some dependencies. I have LangChain and Tavily. That's because that is a search engine for LLMs and for AI. If you haven't heard about it before, definitely look it up, and you can have a free account where you can have 1,000 credits per month for free, just if you want to research and check out what it actually does. Then you have LangChain OpenAI right here. That is the dependency that actually calls the agent and does all of the heavy lifting, so to say. Then we have this Tavily Python dependency right here. This is just so we can code Python against it right there. So let me go to my code example right here. I'm importing create agent right here, and then I'm calling create agent. So it's just a plain Python file, and we have one function defined right here that is get weather. That is to prove that we can have our own custom tools created right here. It says it's always sunny in, and then the city. So that means that if we don't have access to the internet and we cannot search and see what is actually the temperature right now and what is the weather right now in any city, then we can just call this our own function right here, and it will always say that it's sunny in any city that we want to know about right here. Then we are creating the agent. This is where the magic actually happens, and look how easy it is to create an agent right here. So we just call create agent, name which model that we want to use, and then we add the tools that we want to add right here. Of course, this can just be empty if you don't want any tools, and then the platform will actually decide, or the agent will actually, the LLM will actually decide when to use a tool and when not to use a tool itself. So it can actually it knows the context depending on what you actually ask it about. Then we have the system prompt right here. So this is the role. You are a helpful assistant, and of course we can just change the role to something else. That you are an unhelpful assistant or something else if you want to do that. But here we are creating the agent. Then we are invoking the agent. Invoke just means that we are asking it when we're sending this. We're sending this to the agent, and then the agent will then find out how to call OpenAI, because it is OpenAI that we are using behind the scenes in this situation right here, and that is That is why we have different dependencies, all depending on if it's OpenAI or if it's Claude or whatever other AI platform or we were using them. Then the dependency is just different, but how we call it and the code right here is exactly the same. Of course, the model will be different if you use Claude. If you want to use one of the Anthropic models instead, then of course you can just replace this model right here. And of course, you can also still use. I think you can still use these models actually across platform actually. So so you can just keep the model even though you want to use Claude. Here we have the messages. So this is just how what it looks like. So we have a role, user, and then we have the content right here. And here it says please check the weather in Kastrup. The default code is right here. That is where what's the weather in San Francisco. So we can actually start. Let us start with it actually. So I'll just comment this in and this out. Control. I'm using PyCharm by the way. Control Shift F10. And I'm using UV for the dependencies, and you can see this window that comes up right now. That's because I've installed the LangGraph trace plugin for IntelliJ. I'll not go too much into that right now, but it's definitely, if it asks you to install, definitely say yes. And you can also find it in the plugin section. If you press Ctrl-Alt-S for settings in your PyCharm, then go find it and download it, because it will actually tell you what's going on under the hood. We will go through this in another video, so we want to keep this short. Mike, that's too late now. Yes, maybe it is, but it will be even longer if I should also show you that plugin right there. Okay, so far so good. So it says the weather in San Francisco is always sunny in San Francisco. That's because it used our tool. Okay, Mike, but what if it didn't have access to the tool? What would then happen? Okay, let us try that one. So we will just say tools, and then an empty list. And then we run again. Let's see what happens now. So now we didn't give our LangChain code any tool. But what does it say now? It says I can help, but I don't have live weather access in this chat. You can check the San Francisco weather quickly on, and then weather.gov, etc., etc., etc. And then so it does not know what the weather is right now. So how can we solve that, and how can we help it? We will just give it the search tool. So we will give it the search tool right here. Mike, what is the search tool? The search tool is Tavily search that I've enabled right here. I will show you the search webpage in just a minute and show you how to sign up. It's very easy. You just press one button, sign up, then you have a free account. Then you get an API key. You have to set that in your environment variables under Tavily or underscore API key. But I'll show you this in just a minute right here. But I'm defining a tool right here. So what I'm defining here is actually a function, Tavily search, max result 3, total maximum give me 3 result. Of course, I could also set this to 1. We're just interested in 1 result. And right now, we are actually not using get weather anywhere at all. So now we ask, what is the weather in San Francisco? Let us try again. Control Shift F10, run. What does it do? What does it do? Let's see. So here we got the result right here. It says right now in San Francisco, it's about 15.6 degrees centigrade. Right here, partly cloudy. Okay, thank you very much for that. What about in Kastrup in Copenhagen? Sometimes there's actually if you want to play around with weather, then you need to check. You need to write please check. If you just ask what is the weather, then sometimes it will return with that it doesn't know. Please write check. Please write if I should check it or something like that. And it's a bit of silly answer, of course. But if you write please check, then it should look up the weather every time. It's just a little bonus information right there. What does it say? It says current weather in Kastrup, 21 degrees centigrade. Yes, it is. Humidity, pressure, visibility, etc., etc., etc. We got all of that. If you want it to be formatted slightly better, of course, that's not slightly better, but here we get some more information right here. But I will not. We also get it as JSON. Okay, I will not go into that right now because yeah. But it is very interesting. You should definitely use the LangGraph plugin for PyCharm right here. So that is how easy it is. Mike, please show us the Tavily weather forecast. The search, the web search, the Tavily's web search. Yes, I will do that. So if we go down here, Tavily, you just press sign up, and it's incredibly easy. Then when you're at the sign up page, then you get a key and you have 1,000 credits per default. Let me just refresh to see if I use, yes, so now I use 7 of my 1,000 credits. You get new credits every month. And if you just want to research it and try it out, then it's definitely, then you can just do it on the free plan. And if you want to see what it costs, what is the pricing, then let us just go to the pricing page right here. You have pay as you go, 0.008 cents per credit right now. You can also pay per project instead right here. Yeah, so this is Tavily. You can also use DuckDuckGo or any of the other. You can use. There's actually a lot of web search engines out there for LLMs and for AI platforms. So just look that up, and then you will Then you can find other providers if you don't like Tavily. Yes. Thank you very much for watching. It's definitely an awesome subject, and the documentation is very easy. If you want to continue and you cannot wait for me to help you, then just go to LangChain docs, and then if you're using any of the other like Claude, then just press Claude, and then you'll get the code there. Most of the times it will actually be the same, except for the model, which is changing right there. And then you will also have another dependency right here. Of course, you can use pip if you want to use pip. UV is much faster than pip, so and it's quite good. And but that's of course that's a matter of opinion. But I think but I have known some developers that would definitely say UV anytime, but also because they said it was more safe. I have not checked up on that one. If their repositories are more secure than pip, but that's another story. I actually made another video about that, so watch that if you're interested in that part. If you want to check out LangSmith and how easy it is to do tracing, then you just go to LangChain, and then you can go to the documents, and then you find observability right here. That is a good place to start. And then you can check out LangSmith. I don't know why it doesn't go there right now. It should actually go. LangGraph, get started. Boom, boom, boom. I found a good reason, but it is quite easy. It's just as easy. You just get the same code examples right here. I just closed the. I closed the tab. I'm sorry about that. So I'll not sit and find that right now. So, but thank you very much for watching. And you also saw, there was one more thing, yeah. So you actually saw how easy it was to create these tools and these plugins right here. And yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great evening, and I hope to see you again soon. And most of all, thank you for being you. And thank you for all of your comments. They always make me happy. Bye-bye.